the ACS Learning Center. In this tutorial, we're going to be servicing the DEMA Atlas laundry dispenser. First, we do our visual inspection. Check to make sure that there is power on the unit. Check your remote to see if there are any scrambled letters or numbers. Check the connections. Are there any breaks, leaks, chemical buildup? Here we see we have a line that is not primed. Check your manifold necks. Again, are there any breaks, leaks, or chemical buildups? Check the product containers. Are the pickup lines in the right container? Are there any spills, leaks, or empty buckets? The main purpose of the visual inspection is to see if there is anything of major concern that needs our immediate attention. Next, we'll check our squeeze tubes, faceplates, and rollers. Remove the faceplates. Check to see if there are any breaks or cracks. Check your squeeze tubes. Are they soft and pliable? Are the rollers intact and operational? Before returning the faceplates, always make sure that we use silicone tube lube to lube the squeeze tubes. A 1/2 inch bead in 2 locations is all that's needed. Continue checking each pump. Again, check the squeeze tube. Are they soft? Are they pliable? Rollers are in good shape. When putting the squeeze tubes back on, always use the squeeze tube supports. Lube the inside of the tube next to the rollers. Again, the tube lube goes inside, up next to the rollers. As the pump motor runs, it will distribute the tube lube around the squeeze tube. On this pump, we see that the spring has come loose. On DEMA dispensers, they use spring-loaded rollers. This squeeze tube seems to be hard and firm. Let's go ahead and replace it. The spring support is broke on this roller. We're going to have to replace this roller also. The rollers can be mounted in either direction. When putting in your new squeeze tube, the pickup side will always go to the left. The discharge side will always go to the right. Lubing the tube increases the lifespan of the squeeze tubes. Always ensure that you lube the tubes. Finish checking each pump, checking each squeeze tube and roller. Here, this one feels a little slightly worn, but it's still pliable. Next, we're going to be testing our check valves. Set the control to flush. When checking the check valves, generally they only break in a stuck open position, but not always. Press your flush through the manifold. Check to see if there's any water comes out of the check valves. Remember safety first. Never stand in front of this because water can actually shoot out on you. Here we found a bad check valve. Let's go ahead and replace this check valve as we're going. Using Teflon tape, let's get the check valve ready. In a clockwise direction, put 3 wraps of Teflon tape around the threads. Check valves have tapered threads. Make sure that you have a rag available. When removing check valves, you could have a backflow of water. It could be coming out of your discharge line. When putting in a new check valve, you want to put it in hand snug. And then all is required is a 1/2 to a 3/4 turn with a tool. Don't over tighten these. Next, we're going to retest the valve for leaks to make sure the check valve is working correctly and there's no leaks around the threads. Continue on checking each valve. Next, we're going to check the product containers. Are there chemical labels in place? Are the pickup lines or straws operational? How much product is in the containers? Replace the labels when needed. Labels help the customers ensure they go back into the right buckets properly. Always cut off the ends of your tie wraps. Let's keep the system looking neat. Check each container to make sure everything is in operational. Check your product levels. Here we've seen in our visual inspection that this bucket was almost empty. Let's go ahead and replace this bucket for the customer. Change over your pickup lines. And let's pour up any remaining chemicals and marry the buckets together. Make sure that we wipe up and clean up any spills or leaks. Wipe down the system to make sure it's clean and serviceable. Next, we're going to be checking the pumps for operation, sound, and speed. Use the control head and operate each pump. Make sure that they're working as expected. And again, we're testing each pump down the line. Here we're priming up pump 3. Flush the line anytime you are priming or testing an oxidizer. That could be the stainer or brightener. After you finish flushing the line, continue on with your priming and testing your pumps. Again, flush the line anytime you are priming or testing a sour. Never mix an oxidizer and sour in the same manifold. Always flush the lines between each one. For more information on servicing a laundry dispenser, talk to your SSM, manager, regional manager, or contact the training center for more information.